Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about how to determine your enneagram instinct stacking. So I believe this is my first video on the enneagram like ever. And this is because I wasn't super into enneagram until recently, and it's actually thanks to one of my followers. He recommended this website called enneagrammer.com, and I learned a lot from that website about how to determine the Enneagram instinct stacking. And I just found it to be a really helpful way to understand yourself. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to talk a little bit about my own Enneagram because I'll be using myself as an example for some of the rest of this video. Okay, so there used to be this video way back when that I think I said that I'm Enneagram 4 wing 3 with the tri-type 4-7-1 and sexual over social. But I think now I'm pretty sure that I found my actual Enneagram, and it's still 4 wing 3, but the tri-type is 4-6 something. I'm pretty sure it's 4-6-8, but it could also be 4-6-9. And the stacking is definitely social over sexual, so I got it flipped. Okay, so the website basically talks about how, it doesn't explicitly say this, but when you're reading through it, it kind of talks about the second instinct first. And I found that to be a really helpful way to really get it right. So before, I thought the primary instinct, you do the primary instinct first. So like whichever one that you really relate to, I guess, or you think about the most, or even the one from which you derive the most pleasure, you put as your primary. So if you're more into self-preservation, social, or sexual, then that's your primary. And that's how I put sexual as my primary. But yeah, I learned that that's not really the right way to do it, because the first primary instinct can be kind of neurotic. It's similar to MBTI, where your dominant function is so strong that it overtakes everything and it can create problems for yourself. So the method, I guess, is first determine your secondary instinct. It is the one, they call it the playground, which I think is really interesting. So they describe it as something that's strong enough where you do think about it and you do take pleasure in it. However, it's not so strong that if it's somehow missing in your life, or somehow you fail at it or don't do great at it once or twice, it's not a big deal. Yeah, for the primary instinct, if you fail at it or if it's missing in your life currently, it's gonna be a huge deal. You're gonna feel this huge void. So yeah, I guess I think of the playground instinct. Yeah, I think of it as something that's easy and breezy and enjoyable. Yeah, like it's where you feel free to explore and free to make mistakes, because you won't, if you make a mistake, you won't judge yourself so harshly for it. So immediately I knew that mine was sexual, because dating, for example, or having sexual experiences, that was never a stressful experience for me. Yeah, like almost never. I guess if I get like an STD scare, then yeah, or a pregnancy scare, that's stressful. But other than that, it was never stressful. When I was single but didn't really want to be single, that wasn't stressful either. And dating was fun. It wasn't, but yeah, I just noticed that that was quite different from a lot of people I knew who either they weren't really interested in dating at all and it's just like this big chore, or they're so invested in dating and finding the one that they put so much energy into it that it's no longer fun. They're just so stressed out about it. For the website, I think it talks about how if self-preservation is your secondary instinct, then interestingly, you can do things with your body and resources for fun. So they were talking about money, like spending money or displaying that you have money, and because money is a means of self-preservation. Yeah, that would be fun to you, and making changes to your body would be fun. So they actually use examples of tattoos which I thought was super interesting. Other body modifications, maybe even like plastic surgery, and also fitness, like fitness and learning new skills. So like learning to do a pull-up, for example, like you would feel a sense of accomplishment, and it's just like a fun thing. To me, that's not fun at all. It's not on my radar like at all. So that's how I figured out that it was my blind spot instinct eventually. I don't remember too much about the social instinct, but I know a person and he's probably social second. And he just has so much fun being the head of certain organizations. He plans events, plans parties and stuff. I can't do that. Okay, that would be so stressful. But yeah, if you have fun socializing, have fun planning events, and I think you might also have fun with playing around with your social status. Then I learned that the secondary instinct supposedly like funnels to the primary instinct. So for me, it would be I'm doing sexual things and it's funneling into a social purpose. I guess one example, this is not a personal example, but one example could be if you want to make a statement about how you're socially taboo. And I think that's quite common for Enneagram 4 people, but okay, it could be anyone. If you want to be like socially taboo or stir the social pot, and then you do something weirdly sexual in order to do that. You know, whether it's wearing something that's too sexual for the occasion or doing something like sleeping. Oh man, this video, I hope it doesn't get like demonetized, but like sleeping with your professor, you know, making some sort of social taboo with your secondary. And then I think the example that they used for social over self-preservation, for example, would be making social statements with your body. So like, I don't know, if you want to stand out, maybe you can be female and have like a really short hair. I mean, I guess that's more normal now, but like they use stuff like counterculture things like tattoos. Again, those are all pretty normal now, but those would be an example. If you're modifying your body, etc., to make some sort of social statement, or even if you're just keenly aware of the social statement that it would make. I feel like I definitely know some social over self-preservation people. They love just doing things like clothing, even just, yeah, clothing, apartments, resources, all to get some sort of social standing or social acknowledgement. The social dominant, I guess, is the part where the whole purpose is. Like you're doing all these fun things, but it's for the purpose of social success or acknowledgement. So this is why the primary instinct is very stressful. And it can be so unpleasant that apparently it can be mistaken for the blind spot instinct. And this is actually what happened to me while I was diving further into this. So immediately I knew I was sexual second. So I was trying to figure out if I was self-pres over sexual or social over sexual. And it's funny because I think it's so obvious to everyone else that I'm social over sexual, because I found this personality page about me and a bunch of people said that I'm like social first. So yeah, it might be more obvious to other people than to yourself. Yeah, when I was delving further into this, I wasn't really in a good spot socially. I mean, I still am not. I'm hermiting a lot because of COVID and also like past traumas and stuff. So yeah, I thought, okay, if I'm social first, then I have to be socializing all the time, but this is not really true. So it's just a thing that you constantly think about and is really important to you, but you don't actually have to do it and you don't have to be successful at it. So that kind of shook me because I thought you had to be successful at your dominant instinct. But yeah, I am not successful at social. Because I was hermiting so much, I thought that must be my blind spot. Like I thought, if I was social, I need interaction. I can't just hole up with my husband for months at a time, which is what I did. But yeah, it just said that you need social recognition, and you're really, really perceptive as to the social atmosphere. So how your actions would affect other people in the group and how it will be perceived by others, which is really interesting because I've actually read comments about me. I gotta stop doing that. But I read comments about me of people saying that like I am really fake because yeah, I don't know. They're just saying like I'm acting really INFP, but I'm not genuinely INFP. It's like I'm putting on a show. And I thought, I'm not putting on a show in terms of like if the camera was off, I'm like this anyway. However, it is accurate in that I am kind of aware of other people's perceptions. Like that's on the forefront of my mind. So I think one way that you can figure out dominant versus blind for the instinct stackings is if you're failing at it, how much does it bother you? So I'll give my own example. Okay, if like a whole crowd of people thinks that I did something that I didn't do, yeah, or some sort of suffering of my reputation or whatever, something like that, it actually bothers me way, 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 way more than if I fail at something self-preservation, like I didn't make enough money this month and thus I can't, yeah, if I didn't have enough savings, that if I lost my job, I wouldn't be able to sustain myself. Yeah, so the social thing would actually bother me way more than the not having enough money to live. And I thought, okay, so when I first figured this out, this is why I wanted to make this video, because that explains so much. I never thought of it in those terms before, but now that I do, it seems so sick. Like it seems it seems so ridiculous. Like why am I like this? Why? So I realized that yeah, it's because of the social dominance and then the self-preservation blind spot. I'm pretty sure Alan is self-preservation over sexual. He's the complete opposite. Like if all of his friends are mad at him for something that doesn't bother him, like that barely really stirs him. However, if he can't, I mean, maybe it's also a bit of a gender roles thing, but I don't know. I know women who are self-preservation first and that, yeah, like I'm pretty sure Alex is self-preservation first, and something like that would definitely, like not making enough money would definitely bother her way more than upsetting other people. So yeah, Alan is the same. He yeah, the money thing is way more. Having enough resources, not just about money, just having security, resources, you know, shelter, food, stuff like that is way more important than social concerns, upsetting other people, etc. I think that's about it. So if you want more information on this, I recommend checking out enneagrammer.com. It's where I got most of this information. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.